Well, here we are. Here we are. Gotta plug my electronic device into the thing, the plug. It's I'm not the best at that. I'm not the best at plugging stuff in and especially overnight. That's when it makes the most sense because you don't have to think about it. Oh, hold on, I'm watching a video. That's when it makes the most sense, plugging something in. You're like, I don't have to think about this. I'll just plug it in, and in the morning it'll be freshly charged, just like myself, potentially. I don't know. I sleep not well, but I do sleep. Some days better than others. That's just how it is. Is it always been that way? I don't know. I don't know if it's always been that way, but I go through phases of sleep where I have like quality sleep and then not so quality. Some quality, then not so quality. And I appreciate the good times as much as I appreciate the down times. The down times, meaning usually I will like try to be asleep by midnight or 1 or 2 or 3 in the morning. It doesn't matter what time in particular. Just that I will put my head down and I'll lay there for an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and then I'll finally fall asleep. And when I wake up, it won't even be sunny out yet. It'll be like the first like glimpses of sun will be kind of filtering through the. Hey, what's going on, Jonathan? Just talking about. I just woke up about an hour ago. I think I got a good night's sleep. The jury is still out. I'm looking at the scene I started yesterday. Here we go. So the main scene looks like this. Let's render it, kind of get a sense of what it looks like. It's coming together. I think I want to change the green out, though. I like the green, but I like the blue that's in the windows, and I kind of want to keep that blue going because I feel like I started with the blue and then I forgot about it, and maybe I can change this to blue. There's an easy way to do it, though. But I hope you're doing all right, Jonathan. Good to have you back. Let's see. It's a little. I'm having fun with it. I think I want to add in a couple little shelves, maybe a couple of like cereal boxes or stuff that gives the impression of people living there. There's a little pot on the stove, light coming in from there. I put a little lamp right here. I got to figure out what I'm doing with it. Overall, you can see the oven's on because whoever lives here is irresponsible. They decided to leave it on just for aesthetics, so we can see it. Yeah, I'm just like, let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and Control C, Control V. I'm gonna copy paste this. I'm gonna move the green one out. I'm gonna see what happens if I start to do maybe make this blue a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, everything is running. I thought about maybe having water coming down the side here and then just have a big spill on the floor as if something happened, like maybe the person in the room had to leave suddenly. Give it like put a little story behind it. So, yeah, whoever lives here though, irresponsible, not paying bills apparently, not taking into account how much the electricity is. Let's see. I'm going to pick this color here, blue. I'll press Alt, click the blue. I'm going to go paint the surface here. Pretty easy to do. Very easy to replace. I kind of want to get a sense of what it looks like with the let me see what the blue looks like, because like I said, I like the pink and blue. The green just sort of snuck in. I wasn't thinking about it, and now it's like it's on everything. I think that the blue was when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that looks good, and then I just stopped doing it. So, and I do that sometimes. It's part of the creative process, trial and error. There's no right way or wrong way. But yeah, good to see you back. Hopefully we'll get a little bit further today. Hopefully I'll finish it. I mean, I'm not gonna rush it if I don't have to. See, that's kind of okay, huh? So you got green in the cabinets here. The green's sort of a reflection off the floor, which I made the floors really shiny. Like if you walk in here, you're gonna slip. So make sure you just I got to put some like grip pads so grandma doesn't fall. They say that like what most accidents that happen around the home, meaning I guess like just statistical people who are experts in that sort of who study that stuff. I don't know if you'd be an expert in statistics. You can be versed in it. Like I wouldn't say I'm an expert in multiplication, but I understand it. I understand it enough. What am I even talking about? It's too early. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I like the blue. The green stands out a little bit. Like this doesn't look as welcome. But see, the blue in here is just a color from the floor, and I was like, at least maybe that way I could I could start to. Let's see. Yeah, it literally just turned 9 in the morning. I am. I was just talking to myself. I was like, sometimes I think I got a good night's sleep. I do that thing where I'll put my head down and I'll just lay there for like, I'm like, I'm gonna get an early night's sleep tonight, and then I'll lay there for 3 hours. And I was like, why didn't I just stay up and like watch something? Because at least then I would have at least been entertained while I was laying here, and maybe I would have fallen asleep to it. I don't know what the best way to fall asleep is though. I would say I enjoy reading books. Like I talked about this yesterday. Sometimes I'm doing this a long way here. Let's do this. I'll just pick up a book sometimes, and then I'll wake up at like 3 hours later, and it'll just be crumpled up, and I'll have rolled on top of it. And no respect for the book itself, but hey, it did the job. It got me to sleep. But I don't always have that in me. Sometimes I don't know. I resist things that are good for me. Sometimes it's a weird thing. Like little things that are easy. Like here's something I do that is good for me that I know that I do for myself. I floss, which is not everybody flosses. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. I floss every day. I floss to the point where my dentist sounds disappointed whenever I go visit. I haven't been to the dentist in a year because I lost my insurance. But when I went, my dentist would be like, oh, and let me see how you've been flossing. And they'd be like, oh, you floss. I'm like, yeah, I do floss. And I'm like, well, I guess I can't like get on my high horse right now and tell you how to live your life better. And I'm like, nope, no, you can't. I'm flossing. Aren't you proud of me, dentist? Let's see. I once got a bleeding nose because I watched a show on my tablet, holding it up above my face, and I just fell asleep. Yeah, dentists are always you can't make them happy. Even when you do things right, they're like, all right, you win this round, pedestrian, or whatever it is they say in their head with their degree they got after years and years and years. I was gonna say plebeian, but I don't even know if that's the right word. Let me see, what does that mean? I feel like that's the right word. Like it's something that like somebody who is learned would call somebody who is not learned in a particular subject, maybe. Let's see. Okay, they were commoners. Plebeians, plebs, are in ancient Rome the general body of free Roman citizens who were not patricians as determined by the census, or in other words, they were commoners. So yeah, the dentist would call me a plebeian. I'll stand behind that one. Yeah, dentists. That's what they do for a living. They just they get disappointed. There's a Reddit page. I don't really read Reddit much, but there's a Reddit page devoted to dentists, and they're all angry. Like I've looked at it. I think I was looking up something about a what was it? I was curious about a procedure. I was looking up something about like I might need to get a cavity filled or something, and I was just looking it up, see how much it would cost without insurance, and then it led me to like this slash Reddit page for dentists, and they are just the angriest people. And I'm like, I didn't realize that profession was that rife. I would say maybe I'll deign to use that word rife with anger. Let's see. Honestly, they do it either way. If you do everything perfectly, then they're sad about not being able to give you the speech. Yeah. And if you're not doing everything fine, they're just angry about that. Exactly. Yeah, you get it. Jonathan, you get it. I appreciate your like you like I don't know. I take mental notes in my head all the time about stuff. Sometimes I think it's just how I handle boredom. When I was a kid, I used to go to things with my sister was always in athletics and stuff, and so I would and she was older than me by enough years to where I didn't know anybody who she went to school with, and I would just be bored out of my mind, and I'd have to like tell myself stories just to keep myself interested in things, because otherwise you get like squirmy. When you get bored and squirmy, and your parents, or I don't know about your parents, but my parents would just like get frustrated with me for being bored. Like, so I would have to just so I knew at some point I couldn't be like, I'm bored. They're like, yeah, we know you're bored. We're bored too. It's like, well, you're bored. You're being bored doesn't make me less bored. So. But that argument would never work well with them, so I just had to like start telling myself stories. So yeah, when I go to the dentist, I'm like, I just imagine what life is like for them. I get a strong sense of my own sense of humor through that, and my own bias, But I don't mind. I think sometimes you just got to tell yourself stories to get through an afternoon or a day or something that's boring. But yeah, the dentist is always. Let me see. I want to make this table a little less wide. I feel like I like it. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just gonna shave it, and I'm gonna cut the center out. You can see there, and then I'm gonna hit Control and drag it there, and voila. I think that's the right usage. Voila. Let's see. Then I'm gonna hit the button up here, which will constrict the outline to just the shape itself. So we'll do that. Boom. There you go. And I'm gonna drag it back in. There we go. And I think I'm gonna. I think I like this. I think I like the blue a little bit better. I think it brings it back to what I meant to do from the beginning. What else is it? Like dentists. Yeah, dentists are always disappointed. Doctors are skeptical. Like if you go to the doctor and you're like, they're like, why are you here? And I'm like, I don't know, I'm not a doctor, but I feel bad. And they're like, oh well, what do you think it is? And it's like, well, you know, maybe my family has a history of heart problems, and I've been having like bad. My heart's been racing a lot lately, and I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything. Oh well, then why would you come here? You're not. You know, they start to like they question everything, and they're like, well, maybe it's just anxiety. Do you have anxiety? Well, you know, I get anxiety. Okay, well then let's just let's just go with that then. It's just anxiety. Well, like, aren't you gonna check me out? Like, I don't know. I don't really want to like get my hands dirty on you and your anxiety. Like they doctors will just like make you second guess why you came into the visit them in the first place. At least here. You know, they're like it's like, are you really trying to talk me out of like something that might be good for me? And then, you know, it's like, oh, I added that. Let's paint. Let's paint. That sounds like something somebody who's enthusiastic about life would say. Let's get in there and paint. All right. But yeah, so like the last time I went to the doctor, they were just like they were asking me questions that I was like, look, I wanted to go look, I'm not a doctor, you are. You tell me. Like if you're gonna let me do all the guesswork here, I'm gonna be like, I don't know, maybe aliens snuck into my room at night and gave me like some kind of weird injection, and now that's why I'm here. And they're gonna be like, that's ridiculous. And I'm like, yeah, well then you come up with an idea. You went to school for this. I am just making this up because, you know, I'm doing some improv here, trying not to sound like an idiot. Okay, so we got the blue in there now. I've just kind of gone through and changed it up. It's very blue, which makes me think maybe I could do something a little more contrasting over here. Maybe I could just make these slats white. Let's see what that looks like. Super easy to do. I'm very much like a hurry up and wait in this kind of thing. I'm like, let me do this, and then I'll do the whole thing, and then I'll look at it and be like, nope, and then I'll go back and undo it all. I kind of like the idea of white here though. And maybe the frame could be blue because it's weird. I don't have a lot of brown in here, and it just seems like I made the brown for no reason. We'll see. I'll pull it in, and then we'll see. Let me try that before I do both. Let me try. You know, this time I'll learn from my last attempt, and I think it'll be easy to do the make this blue. See, kind of like the contrast with the white, though. Yeah, right. It's speaking to me. I'm just not sure what it's trying to say yet. I'm like, tell me your secrets, chair. What do you want me to do? What is it you're trying to tell me to do? The blue frame. I still need to do all of it, but I'm going to see what that looks like right there. I mean, it's quite blue. It's definitely blue. It looks like a